Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Friday, January 13, 2023, and giving you our team picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comments section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. A pair of Eastern Conference teams meet in hopes of improving their standing in the playoff picture on the hardwood in the Hoosier State. The Atlanta Hawks are on the road as they make the trip to face the Indiana Pacers Friday night. Atlanta was knocked off 114-105 at home by Milwaukee in their previous game Wednesday night, failing to cover the line as a 4.5-point underdog. Indiana was defeated 119-113 on the road by the Knicks Wednesday night, failing to cover as a 5-point underdog in that contest. In the all-time regular season series between the teams, the Hawks own a 107-95 advantage, but the Pacers took a 129-114 home win in the first matchup this season on December 27, 2022. The Hawks put together a convincing second half against the Bucks without Trae Young. The offense was well balanced with the bench having 3 double-digit scores. Indiana will be hurt without Haliburton in the fold, and it remains to be seen how well the ball will move around in stretches when shots aren't falling. The Hawks have defended the perimeter well this year, and I expect them to be able to key in more on Hield with Haliburton not playing. Our team pick is Atlanta -3 points. Washington Wizards vs New York Knicks. The New York Knicks, 23-19, 12-8 away, will take on the Washington Wizards, 18-24, 11-8 home, in Washington, D.C. at Capital One Arena. The Knicks have won 4 of their last 5 games and are coming off a win against the Pacers, while the Wizards have won 2 of their last 5 and are coming off a win against the Bulls. New York has been one of the few teams this season that are better on the road than at home, which plays a role as to why I like them in this spot to not only win, but cover the spread. Washington is without their 2 top scorers, and their already bad offense has gotten worse without Beal and Porzingis, who is a difficult player to defend. The New York Knicks are entering this matchup with a healthy squad, while the Wizards are entering with some injured players. This will be a pretty big advantage for the Knicks, considering the Wizards will now likely need to put in less experienced players. Less experienced players against the Knicks will allow the Knicks' offense to be more explosive in the paint and on the boards. In addition, the Knicks have been playing strong basketball lately, winning 4 of their last 5 contests. A win against the Wizards will extend their win streak to 2 games. With injuries starting to infect the Wizards, I expect the Knicks to do what they do best and score. Our team pick is New York Knicks -3 points. Defensively, they are conceding 111 points per game, so expect the defensive side of the ball to be pretty competitive, as the Washington offense is averaging 111.8 points per game. Detroit Pistons vs New Orleans Pelicans. The New Orleans Pelicans and Detroit Pistons meet Friday in NBA action at the Little Caesars Arena. The New Orleans Pelicans have lost 5 of their last 7 games. The Detroit Pistons have lost 5 of their last 8 games. Detroit is not a good team, but New Orleans is not the same team without Zion Williams, as he is the focal point of their offense, which is why I like the Pistons to keep this game close and cover the spread. Detroit can still score a ton of points as the Pistons have plenty of weapons, just no real star, which is a big reason for their struggles. These 2 teams also played once this season, with the Pistons losing by just 6 points in a 104-98 loss in New Orleans. Our team pick is Pistons +4.5 points. For how good the Pelicans are, they are just .500 against the spread as a road favorite. This should be a high-scoring game, and in a high-scoring game, I'll take the points as New Orleans is struggling as of late. San Antonio Spurs vs Golden State Warriors. On Friday night, the Golden State Warriors head to the Alamodome for a road clash with the San Antonio Spurs. The Warriors fell 125-113 to the undermanned Phoenix Suns Tuesday night. The Spurs lost 135-129 to the Memphis Grizzlies. The Warriors got their star Stephen Curry back last game against the Phoenix Suns, but they looked sluggish and did not turn on the Jets until midway through the third quarter. By that time, the Suns had built a 20-point lead and the Warriors could not overcome it. They get the tanking San Antonio Spurs Friday, and they are the perfect remedy for Curry and the gang to get things back on the right track. Steve Kerr will have his guys going right from the jump, hopping on a Spurs team that is next to last in the Western Conference standings. They are more concerned with the top pick than winning games at this point of the year. I am going to pick the Golden State Warriors, and I am going to lay the points, -8.5. Yes, they have struggled on the road, but they now have Steph Curry back in the lineup. I see him changing everything and leading his team to victory in this game. According to dunksandthrees.com, the Spurs have the highest adjusted defensive rating, and they are surrendering the most points per game. They won't be able to contain this Warriors lineup, and Golden State will slowly pull away. The Warriors are scoring the 8th most points per game, and they have the 6th highest three-point shooting percentage. They will find open shots on the perimeter consistently throughout this game, and I expect them to take advantage. San Antonio is also allowing their opponents to shoot 50.5% from the floor, which is the highest shooting percentage surrendered in the league. Our team pick is Golden State Warriors -8.5 points. The Warriors will exploit their weak defense and pull away throughout this game. Minnesota Timberwolves vs Phoenix Suns. The Suns are coming into this one after falling to the Denver Nuggets, 126-97. Phoenix struggled on both ends of the floor, as they will have to be more efficient in this game if they want to challenge the Timberwolves on the road. Minnesota is entering this game after losing to the Detroit Pistons, 135-118. They were horrible on the defensive end of the court, as they will have to contest more shots if they want to take care of business at home. Minnesota lost to one of the worst teams in the Eastern Conference, a 135-118 beatdown on the road against the Detroit Pistons. Anthony Edwards scored 20 for Minnesota, which had won 4 straight before the lackluster appearance. They will be getting a Phoenix Suns team playing without Chris Paul and Devin Booker, and should bounce back in a big way after getting embarrassed on the road against Detroit. Edwards left in the third with hip soreness, but that does not appear to be serious, and he will be ready to go for this one. Phoenix is 2-6 against the spread over their last 8 games, and they have lost 10 of 12 overall. I am going to take the Timberwolves ML, as I see them defeating the struggling Suns at home. Phoenix looked horrible against the Nuggets in their last game, and they have multiple key players that are questionable or out in this game. This will hurt them on the offensive end of the court, as I don't see the Suns scoring enough points to stay in this game. The Timberwolves have also been solid on the offensive end of the court, as they are scoring the 12th most points per game, and they have the 3rd highest team shooting percentage. They will find open shots consistently throughout this game, and I expect them to take advantage. Minnesota will also make it difficult for the Suns to find open shots throughout this one, as they are holding their opponents to the 7th lowest shooting percentage from the field. They will also make it very difficult for the Suns to score inside the paint, which will make it much harder to score. Our team pick is Minnesota Timberwolves moneyline. Chicago Bulls vs Oklahoma City Thunder. Oklahoma City will play the second game of a 4-game road trip when it travels to Chicago on Friday night. The Thunder had their 2-game winning streak snapped in a loss to Miami on Tuesday. Chicago has lost consecutive games to Boston and Washington, falling to 4 games below the .500 mark. The Thunder are on a fantastic stretch, 5-1 against the spread in their last 6. The last 5 matches between these teams ended up 3-1 in Oklahoma City's favor against the spread. Half of the reason that OKC is getting points on the line here is that they're playing the second night of a back-to-back on the road. That does sound daunting, but the Thunder are quite literally the youngest team in the league. Their average age was 23.14 years old entering this season. I know this is a back-to-back situation for Oklahoma City, but the Thunder are one of the youngest teams in the NBA, so they are built to handle this type of situation. They have also been one of the most profitable teams in the league, covering the spread at a 25-16 clip heading into Thursday night's game. This story was published prior to that contest. Chicago has gone just 6-8 as a favorite this season, and it could be without its leading scorer again on Friday night. The Bulls do not have enough scoring options to overcome DeRozan's absence, and it showed on Wednesday. Our team pick is Oklahoma City to cover. Caruso only scored 6 points as his replacement, so I have no interest in backing the Bulls with DeRozan's status up in the air. Utah Jazz vs Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic, 16-26, 6-14 away, will head to Salt Lake City, Utah to take on the Utah Jazz, 21-23, 13-7 home, at Vivint Arena. The Magic have won 3 of their last 5 games and are coming off a win against the Trailblazers, while Utah has won 2 of its last 5 and is coming off a win against the Cavaliers. The Utah offense is one of the most explosive and dominant offenses in the NBA this season, averaging 117.5 points per game, third. With Markkanen being consistent scoring-wise and on the boards, the Jazz has someone they can rely on. In addition, Clarkson has been hot and is coming off a 32-point game. With these 2 scorers, the Magic will really need to do something special to slow them down, but that will be difficult with the amount of talent Utah has when moving the ball around and shooting. Orlando relies on Banchero, 21.2, and Wagner, 20.2, to put points on the board, but other than them the Magic don't have much scoring talent. Our team pick is Utah Jazz minus 5.5 points. Expect the Utah defense to contain Banchero and prevent Orlando from scoring a lot. Los Angeles Clippers vs Denver Nuggets. The 2022-23 NBA season continues with a 9-game Friday slate, including the Western Conference showdown between the Denver Nuggets and Los Angeles Clippers at Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, California. Denver meets LA for the 3rd time this season, and the Nuggets shoot for their 5th straight victory over the Clippers. The visitors might miss Jamal Murray, ankle. On the other side, the Clippers are without Luke Kennard, calf, while Paul George, hamstring, is questionable to play. The Nuggets are still missing Jeff Green, while Nikola Jokic is currently listed as day-to-day, while the Clippers will again be missing Paul George and Luke Kennard. The Nuggets have been on fire for a while now, and they certainly looked good in their blowout win over the shorthanded Suns on Wednesday, while the Clippers were on a 6-game skid before they took down the Mavericks in their last outing. This will be the 3rd matchup between these two, with Denver taking both straight up and against the spread by an against the spread margin of 16.6 per. The Nuggets have hit their last 4 games against the spread and are 3-0 in the last 3 games in this matchup. They are averaging 15 points more than the Clippers over each team's last 5 games, and they are shooting nearly 10% better. Denver has also hit 72 3-pointers for an average of 14.4 per game over their last 5. Los Angeles has averaged just 36.6 field goals made in that same span. Denver is pretty much a freight train right now. Our team pick is Denver plus 1 points. Good luck to any team that stands in front of them and good luck to anyone willing to bet against them right now. Sacramento Kings vs Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets, 10-31, 5th Southwest, will play on the road against the Sacramento Kings, 22-18, 1st Pacific, on Friday for the 2nd time in the last 3 days. In the first meeting between the two on Wednesday, Houston was routed by Sacramento 135-115. The Rockets have lost 8 straight. Sacramento has won 2 straight and stretched its lead at the top of the Pacific Division to 1.5 games over the LA Clippers. Houston does not have any players on its injury report, while Kevin Huerter is questionable for Sacramento. The Kings needed a big 4th quarter to beat the line against the Rockets on Wednesday. Sacramento cannot underestimate Houston, and I'm looking for another strong offensive performance from the Kings. The Rockets can score against the Sacramento team, but if the Kings' offense continues to impress, Houston's defense will be in big trouble. Sacramento easily disposed of Houston in the first of 2 consecutive meetings between the two with a 20-point victory. Domantas Sabonis has been a dominant force for Sacramento, while averaging the 2nd most points, 18.9 ppg, and leading the Kings in rebounds, 12.4 rpg, and in assists, 6.8 ap. Sacramento's offense is 1st in the NBA, and the Kings have the 4th best field goal shooting percentage. Sacramento has covered the spread in each of the last 2 games. In comparison, Houston is 29th in the NBA in scoring at 109.2 points per game and 30th in field goal shooting percentage at 44.3%. The Rockets have failed to cover the spread in each of the last 4 and in 7 of the last 8. Our team pick is Sacramento minus 10 points. Houston has lost each of its last 8 straight up.